just ain't true. Oh, I can't believe I ever believed in you. You had me chasing fool's gold. I was chasing fool's gold. I was chasing fool's gold.
Yeah, that's my girl KC and the Black Alley Band doing their remake of Fool's Gold. Let me ask you something about that, Cam. Because one thing I've always loved about Black Alley, and while they may not be your traditional go-go band, they've always taken the premise of taking a song and making it theirs. What go-go has used to be known for before Grown and Sexy came around. And that's a fact. All right. So, how did y'all get connected with Jill Scott on this piece right here?
Yeah, so that was at the time my good man Omar Kashif was we were partners, and Omar Kashif, just the mover and shaker that he is, he connected with Tone P, along with Josh on bass, and we had opened
so
for
Tone P got something to do with this.
Yeah. We had opened for Jill Scott at the Verizon Center. And just made the connection, and got permission, had the idea, and then got permission to just remake a couple of her songs, and in that fashion put that Black Alley and that DC spin on it.
Right. So who's DuPont Brass? Was that the brother that was in the background doing the ad libs?
I think that's don't give me the line. I think that was Tone Pete doing the ad libs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I always wondered who featuring DuPont Brass. Who was that? So since you brought it up, and I was gonna bring it up later on, but so a lot of people still not even aware that Omar is not the manager of Black Alley. So honestly, because I don't even want to put her out there, but I had a young lady in here earlier. And she was like, "Oh, you mean you got Omar coming in?" I said, "No, Cam.
Yeah.
He's Cam. So that's the manager for Black Alley now." Really?
Yeah.
So how long Omar has been not working with the band?
Yeah, so that was about 2 years back in 2017. He just decided that he wanted to step away from it for a little while. He's working on some major moves, man. It's his spot that we have in the Chocolate City Farmers Market at.
Oh,
so
okay.
he's doing it big, man. He's just a great friend, a true brother, and really a creative genius, man. So he just wanted to step away and try his hand at some other things, and it's working out good for him. It's panning out, like he's doing his thing. He's had a couple of events. The Speak Easy is super dope. Stay tuned for that. Ditch. I think it was Ditch Day, and just
Ditch
Day. Like he just had it. It was like some secret cool shit. And you sent an RSVP, and you found out where it was. You took off from work. It was like a work day, a beautiful day outside, a work day, and he had the whole thing, man, just organized, super dope. Like I said, just a creative genius, man. Really, really good brother. Always proud to call him brother, but he just wanted to step away and do some different things. And so, when he did that, I went to a couple of the band members, Casey, Josh on bass, Animal the drummer, and I said, I don't want to do the traditional management artist type of thing. And so, we formed a cooperative association. Because I just wanted to bring that those values of those democratic values to bear, ownership, like we just talked about, self-sufficiency, right? You can apply those same type of values to the independent music, and I think you should, in terms of all hands on deck, man. Equal ownership, equal accountability, equal responsibility to make this thing pop. And so that was it was important to me to just reinforce that mentality, and so that's how we've been moving ever since then.
Dope. For the simple reason, like, that is, at least in the go-go community, that is kind of far and few between. You know what I'm saying? And so let's touch on that real quick. So a lot of people, I should say a lot of people, there are individuals that feel like Black Alley is, they feel like they're too good, because they won't call themselves a go-go band, but they have congos in the band. So I said, well, shit, Santana got congos in this band, but you wouldn't call him a go-go band. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they want to call themselves hood rock. I forgot what the first term. I used to like the first term y'all used to use with yourselves. It wasn't hood rock. It was another.
Like Soul Garage.
I think garage soul.
Yeah.
I used to like that.
Mhm.
But if they're not, and y'all not a traditional go-go band at all.
Yeah.
You know,
So
go ahead.
yeah, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, man. I love to speak on that. I think it don't have nothing to do with being too good or nothing. It don't have nothing. Like, we have always been proud. Like, even before the whole, like, when go-go was kind of teetering, like when it was going, and even people that grew up with it and loved it was like, I don't know. Like, it was hard to hear played at clubs and everything. Like, before this whole resurgence, Don't Mute DC and all that stuff, like, we had it. Like, it was a point in time we didn't even get invited back to play at the park because we put that crank into it. Like, we never ran from that. Our thing was we just always wanted to, we always wanted to, it's just like, I can't think of no other way to explain it except jazz. Like, you have this broad category of jazz, but in jazz you got swing, you got beat bop, you got hard bop, you got avant-garde, like, you got all these things.
Orchestra.
Nobody is limited just because. And so that was just always our thing. We never wanted to be limited. We was never ashamed or never. We always want to put on for this culture, put on for the city.
I can tell you straight up from the times when I was managing Subtle, at that time, a lot of people really felt like y'all didn't want to be associated with go-go because, like, y'all felt like go-go was almost like a dirty term.
Nah.
And I'm just telling you.
Yeah. Nah.
I can give you inside of how people.
Yeah.
They might not say it to your face, but I'm telling you to your face.
Yeah,
That's exactly how it was going down. And I was like, yo, let them do them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you need different aspects of a music because you never know what's going to stick.
Yeah.
And people like different things.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody has to be in the same category and feel like, okay, well, this is how go-go has to be. This is the standard of it. And if you're not in go-go doing this, then you're not go-go.
Yeah. No, we don't. And I appreciate you saying that. I mean, my thing is, I used to hear those things. That was no secret. But anytime anybody did say something to my face, I just set the record straight. Like, you ain't gonna never get me to say, oh, no, I don't want to be associated with go or whatever, man. I am a true, like, I grew up loving go-go more than any other music. You know what I'm saying? It's like cats in D.C. that can't even say that for real. They grew up loving, gospel. They got on the rap bandwagon. Like, it's like times where in the 90s when I was, almost grown, where I didn't even know. I'm thinking of these songs Backyard singing is original because I never heard the rap joint. I just heard it from Backyard.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So, it was, I know that was, I know that was a narrative, and to a lesser extent it still is. But, if anybody got something to say about it, they can always ask me, and I just let them know. Nah, it's exactly what you said. Like, we just not in prison. Like, we just want to open our vision and our minds to what it could be. And quite honestly, hood rock really, it represents, like, people say, well, what's hood rock? We say trap rock and go-go. And then when people come and see us, they like, God, that is exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, that, like, I have one of our best shirts and one of our best selling T-shirts that say trap rock and go-go. It's just that simple. That's what the ingredients are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what our ingredients are. And, we love that sound. It's a sound that we hone and grew, and we stand on the shoulders of all of the legends, man. Chuck and Junk and Essence, EU, all. We stand on their shoulders, but we not in prison by that.
What's crazy about that, I've seen these legends embrace you all.
Yeah.
Donnell Floyd bringing KC up on his stage, when y'all did when they did the MCI Center, back in the day. I think that was only like a couple years ago, and or just in general, the older the older brands of band, and I personally, this is my thought. I'm not speaking for nobody else. This is my thought. I just think that when y'all had the level of success that you had or having, because nothing's past tense, y'all still doing what y'all do, but when y'all get a level of success, and when some of these bands who've been out here grinding for 20 odd years, and they don't get that level of success that you had, and y'all, even though y'all been around a lot longer than people think about, because I remember when I first heard of Black Alley, is I was working at Ben's Chili Bowl, and y'all was Scooby was using members from Black Alley to put together the group, so I was like, who are these cats? And that's when I first heard of y'all. I didn't come to find out. My keyboard player that was in my band, Glenn, he was a subtle. He was playing with Black Alley, and it just different band members was coming out of that camp that you wouldn't even know. Like, man, they had a solid camp over there, to where y'all kind of locked it down to what you got right now for the nucleus you've had for like about last 6-7 years.
About 9 years now.
9 years, okay. Longer than I thought.
Yeah, Beatty, Animal, Josh, and Casey. I think that's going on 9-10 years now.
Okay, yeah, I'm talking about the whole band though. Cause So is Glenn? He's still playing with y'all or what?
No. I mean, mostly it's Smiles. Smiles, Dion. We got Champion, Stan on guitars. Like we just had
Stan playing with y'all.
Stan, yeah. Stan, he back. He not all the way back. Nah, Stan Thompson used to, with Wale was on the road with Wale, used to be all them, Right. But he started in Black Alley though before he went over with them. So, and he's he's back. He's doing his thing. He got a professional career. He's a real professional. In terms of his got a law degree and all that. I don't put that man business on the street, but he's super dope in that way. So, but now that he kind of is doing that to a certain level, he has sort of the bandwidth to do music again, and he's back in the fold. So, yeah.
Well, big thing for you all, and I think that kind of really helped with. I guess the promotion and marketing of the group was that trip to Minneapolis and to Princess Resort where y'all won. What was the name of the contest?
That's the Musicology Battle of the Bands.
Musicology Battle of the Bands. So
at Paisley Park.
And if you was, and I got to find that picture with Casey and Animal holding that up in here because y'all came in basically the day after. Y'all came to Go Radio before you went to Fox 5. And that's a moment I'm super proud of.
Yeah, man.
Honestly, I'm super proud of that moment because, it felt like y'all was bringing it home for real. Hey, I love Fox 5, but y'all, this is Go-Go.
Yeah.
This is Go-Go. Go Radio Live is Go-Go. Y'all just barring it for for
right.
And I know what's going on up there. But anyway, whole nother story. But with y'all doing what y'all did in Minneapolis, how? Because when we talked to Casey and Animal about it, it hadn't had really a real chance for it to soak in yet. So now that's been a little bit over a year now.
Yeah.
So how has that whole situation worked for you all, to y'all advantage at least?
Yeah, no, I would say just the exposure, man, and the recognition. I think more so than anything, it was sort of a way for the band to really understand that we did not have to compromise our sound in any way when we left. Like the thing is, when we played, like when we won that Musicology Battle of the Bands at Paisley Park, like we played the same songs that we play here, and we played them in the same way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just that, just going through that experience where you have members of, Prince's Band of Revolution, members of New Power Generation, Third Eye Girl, like all of these cats actually played with Prince. And for them to, hear our music, playing it this unapologetically the same way we play that shit here, And for them to be rocking and be like, nah, man, y'all was Head and Shoulders the best band here.
Wow.
That's
Head and Shoulders.
yeah. Like, you know, so that's you know, Prince's DJ, like, bruh, like, nah, this was dope. This was amazing. Like,
So what came of that? You know, since then, because from what I understand, y'all won some type of a recording contract, or
no, it wasn't a recording contract. We did, you know, we're still working towards having an opportunity to actually record a song at Paisley Park.
Right.
That was like one of the grand prizes, and so we're still, you know, working through that, because it's a lot to go through. You know, the folks of musicology, clearly they have a relationship with the estate of Prince. Yeah. But it's not like they can just do anything. So we still just kind of working through that, and hopefully one day it'll come to fruition. And even if it don't, man, it's you can't take the experience away.
Oh no,
you know what I'm saying? Like, we played in that man's house, rocked that man's stage, and it was just like the moment, man, we played Doves Cry. Like, I remember, you know, we talked about it before.
That was the winning. That was a song that.
That was a joint. Like, that was one of the main joints, and we weren't playing it first. Like, just was nervous about it being a little disrespectful. So once we got permission to play it, we still was nervous about playing it, because it's like, that's Prince. Like, it's his joint, right. You know. But nah, we played that, and, you know, to get, like I said, to get that stamp from, you know, some of his former band members, it's just an experience, you know, something that changes you, hits you on the inside, that nobody can take away ever. You know, really give you the confidence to keep pushing, doing your thing. You know what I'm saying?
So I'll tell you what, when we come back, we're gonna get into a couple other things, but I want to play that winning song right there.
Okay.
And this, you know, I want y'all to rock out with us. You know what I'm saying? This is the winning song that was played at Prince's estate. Now, I do want to use this as a prelude to this to me playing the song. Is I want people to understand what Cam was talking about earlier. When you talk about you want to open up your vision, and DC is, you know, well, go. And DC, to some extent, we've kind of had a narrow outlook on how things should be. And I think that's why go is where it's at now. Mind you, it thrives here in the DMV. And there's a lot of artists around the world would like the opportunity to play 3 or 4 times a week and make the money that our artists make. But at the same time, our outlook and our vision for the growth of this music has been watered down to us not looking outside the box, and that's bothersome to me. And the biggest issue I have with it is, and something that I'm proud of you all doing, is what's called Hood Rock University, where y'all looking at actually trying to grow the youth, you know, into the music form. Whether they accept it in the go-go style or whatever, because that's my biggest issue with go-go right now, is that we don't reinvest back into our future. You know, and if we don't do that, then where's the music going to go? You know, I mean, you have to reinvest in it. And as much money is made in this genre annually, it makes no sense for something to be put into a kitty, and for us to have the next generation, because we done lost a couple generations already.
Yeah.
You know, but we have to, you know, especially with the hype and the media that's surrounding go-go right now, maybe we can reinvigorate some of the youth, you know. But that's something that you all do, and we can touch on it a little bit more when we come back.
Sure.
You know, that I'm really, really happy and proud about.
My mind, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, love to talk about that, man.
All right. You're tuned in right now to the GoWIN Radio Show right here on GoGo Radio Live. I'm your host, Nico the Go-Goologist. I'm sitting here with my main man, Cam. And this here is When Doves Cry, the Hood Rock Mix.
Take, if you will, a picture of you and I engaged in a kiss. The sweat of your body covers me. Can you, my darling, can you picture this dream if you can? Accordion, an ocean of violets in bloom, and most strike curious poses. They feel the heat between me and you. You just leave me standing alone in a world that's so cold. Maybe I'm just too demanding. Maybe I'm just like my father, too old. Maybe I'm just like my mother. She never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like. Blues fight. Blues fight. Touch, if you will, my stomach. Feel how it trembles inside. You got the butterflies all tied up. Don't make me chase you, even doves have pride. You just leave me standing alone in a world that's so cold. Maybe I'm just too demanding. Maybe I'm just like my father, too old. Maybe I'm just like my mother. She never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like.
That's my baby, Miss KC, and the whole Black Alley gang, man. And that was When Doves Cry, the winning song at the what's it called? The musicology what?
Yeah, musicology battle of the bands.
Battle of the bands. So and you had how many bands in total that was in that?
I think they said over 100, over 100 sort of over 100 bands submitted, and then they had I think 8 finalists because we played one night against 4 bands, and then another night it was 4 bands, and then we was the final 4, and then we won.
That's crazy. So that just tell you the talent that we have located right here in this area, that we went up against over 100 bands and came out on top. And yeah, I say we because they're representatives of us, you know. So and I really would like. Now I understand. I wish Miss Lady was here because we do have a thing, me and her, and this show right here. We do have a thing to where where certain people, artists that have been on our show, don't necessarily claim go-go in their whether it be in their bios or their EPKs or whatever whatever it may be. So I'm glad you clarified what you did earlier, so there's no sense of reiterating on that. But I do have a question. Do you feel like because of your style it affords Black Alley more opportunities than the typical go-go band?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's a lot of things that go into that. It's not only the style, but I think also because we just have a sort of a different format. Like most go-go bands is like a whole front line. Like all we got is Casey up front. Like it's just, it's easier for people outside of DC to digest. So we don't water down the sound in any way, but at the same time, just the sort of the aesthetic of it, how it would look, it's just easier for people outside of DC who don't get like 4, 5, 6, even 6 people on the front line. Like a lot of people don't get that. Like what's going on? You got this person kind of saying stuff and hitting the tambourine, and then this person not really saying anything, hitting the cowbell, and then
but that's traditional music though, because you think about back to it, LTD. Jeffrey Osborne, Commodores, Lionel Richie. Yeah. You got people who come from out of that big front line and they end up being a solo artist, but almost the same sound behind them. But you're not dealing with the whole band per se on a regular, because when you that's all in the 70s.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Like that's a different time. Like but it's not like it's foreign to us. I mean, we come, most black people get their start in music in the church with a whole big gospel band. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then through jazz, that's always people taking turn kind of being the lead with the different instruments. Not necessarily a vocalist, but you got Miles Davis blowing his trumpet and Coltrane on the saxophone. They taking turns kind of being the lead. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's foreign, but I just think, like you said, because that's what I was just about to say. Back in the 60s and the 70s, it was more of a national band culture. Growing out of the Motown sound and the Philadelphia soul sound, Funkadelic, all them, right?
Speaking of Motown, Diana Ross.
Yeah, right.
Leaving Supreme.
Yeah. So but I think more so over the course of time, and especially with with the rise, the meteoric rise of hip hop, it just kind of got focused on one or two people, one MC, one. Because even at the start of hip hop, like I was just listening the other day to the joint on Netflix, watching the other day on Netflix, and they were talking about how to
joint.
Yeah, it was what is that joint called? It's some, I can't even call it the name of it, but it's really about the history of the birth of hip hop. And they were just saying how, when it first started, the DJ was the main attraction.
That's right.
And so that's how like in the early days of hip hop, the DJ's name would be first before the MC.
That's right.
But as you can see, that's just changing.
Oh, you ain't even got to think that far back. Think about DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Yeah, Eric Ben Rakim.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it's not, you don't have to go that far back to really realize that's how it used to be.
Yeah.
And when the MC came up, it was for additional
effect. It was just the sights of it all. But the main thing was the DJ.
The DJ, that's right. DJ want to rock the party. I trust me, that's how I came up. I was a DJ before I did anything else. And groomed out it from there. You know, so I definitely know what you're talking about with that. So, all right. So look, something major popped this morning. Something real major popped out, and for those of you who are not necessarily aware, because I don't think it's public for public consumption right now. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay, okay. So, well, no, he's not even. Well, he is. What ward Kenya Duffy come out of?
5. He's a council member for Ward 5.
Okay, council memberman, Kenyon McDuffie, he sent out a message to where like they get ready to have something real major coming up in regards to making go-go, and this is I feel some kind of way about it because I've been talking about this for years myself, and now all of a sudden, people who haven't been necessarily involved in the culture has been put in the work that not only I but a lot of others have in it. Now all of a sudden they are using go-go as almost as an olive branch to open up certain doors, and but I'm old enough to know you got to get it while you can get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if it ain't me, I don't give a damn, as long as it gets done. And so this brother has, and I'm not sure who's been in his ear, but has actually been pushing for go-go being the official music of the D.C. metropolitan, D.C. And it only makes sense since it's the only form of music that was born and bred right here, right on our footsteps. You know what I'm saying? And so give us a little bit more background what you have on it, because I'm not even fully aware of everything that's going on myself.
Yeah. So coming up on a Wednesday, October 30th at 4 p.m., Councilmember Kenyon McDuffie is inviting people to testify at the hearing. If you want to testify, you can send an email to the DC Council or call in. But the hearing is on the go-go official music of the District of Columbia Designation Act of 2019. And just to be completely transparent, like you're saying, you don't know who's in his ear. Like I actually push for that. Like I pushed for that. I asked them. I said, listen, and did a draft of it. Of some potential legislation for to declare go-go the official music of DC, because I'm like you. Like I've been in go-go as a fan, and then as a manager, writer, whatever you want to call it, basically a creative in the go-go community for years before the whole Dome UDC thing started. But like you said, when things happen, when events just kind of happen organically and galvanize people, it's best to take advantage of it instead of sitting back and complaining like, I've been talking about this for years. Now people trying to talk, get on it. When something happens, like, because the thing is, like, that's really how movements get started. Like, I'm telling you, like, I'm not saying that this is as important as the civil rights movement. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that there were people who got arrested for sitting down on buses before Rosa Parks. That's right. You never know what's going to be the galvanizing thing. So it's not like it would have been stupid for people to be like, oh man, people been getting arrested. Why we go behind Rosa Parks?
Great analogy.
You know what I'm saying?
God,
so it's like, when the moment hits, when the moment strikes, when the people are galvanized, it don't matter what it is. Get behind it. Use that as a way to organize.
If you truly are for
that thing.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise you just one of the ones that's holding it back.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't you that made it happen. So what?
Yeah. So my thing to Councilman McDuffie's credit, he was very open to it. Like all I did was send him an email. It wasn't nothing big. I was just like, yo, this is what's going on. Like, what do you think about this? And he hit me back, and he was like, nah, let's make this official. Let's do this as an actual, amendment, making DC, making go-go the official music of DC. To his credit, like, all I did was put it out there. He took it, and then and is doing what he's doing with it. So, I encourage people from the go-go community, whether you're artists or managers or promoters, if you have any offense or even just fans, people who like myself grew up loving the music, I would encourage you to call or email down to the city council and testify. I mean, it's important. You can't say you love something and you pissed that new gentrifiers coming in disrespecting the culture, and then when it's your time to stand up and make your voice be heard, you don't stand up and make your voice be heard, and people think that it's okay to disrespect the culture.
And what's crazy about that, it kind of all ties in hand with the with not just the gentrifiers disrespecting the culture, but just neighborhoods in general. Where people are really complaining about, oh, they pushing us out. And my first thing to say to them is this: well, if we took taking care of our neighborhoods a lot more seriously, the property value wouldn't drop so low to where they can come in and do that. Because one thing I know about Europeans, they ain't gonna spend. They don't believe in spending, overpaying for things. And so if there was, and I learned this, believe it or not, from a cartoon. I'm a huge Boondocks fan, right? And it was an episode called, what's that joint called? The Luther. The Luther. When they came and they had the donuts, the Krispy Kreme donuts and the hamburger in between that joint. And so, anyway, the whole thing was about if you ever watched the Boondocks, it's that old white man that comes in and he always trying to pick, the grandfather or even the kids, for information. And so they fed him it was a whole soul food dinner and whatnot. And Riley, he fell asleep, right? And they said, oh, that's the itis right there. Yeah. So the old man, he looked and said, So he took the grandfather down to the neighborhood and he said, well, I want to put you up in a soul food restaurant right here. And he said, well, I said, why right here? Well, I've been trying to get this, trying to buy this spot, but he said, this is verbatim, they trying to fuck me for the price, right? So right across the street from there was a nice little park and everything, with a family park and all of that. So he put the soul food restaurant in there, and of course our people come in and we patronize it, and the neighborhood got real ugly after a while because now people don't want to leave. They tearing up, then they start robbing and stealing and all of that. And now the park now it's thriving with crime and all kinds of stuff. So after a period of time, he closed the restaurant and bopped the block. That's what he was trying to do anyway. And how did that happen? Us. And it's always been an issue for me. It's like we so quick to look at what you feel like is the problem. Well, a lot of times the problem is in the mirror. And it could be solved by looking in the mirror and answering those questions. Right there. So So I don't want to get too long-winded on that, but I really want us to, a lot of times, a lot of the issues that stem within our community can be really solved with us just coming together. No, first looking in the mirror and taking care of what you need to take care of first, because you can't help nobody unless you got your own issues together, and then for us to come together on a small level and letting it grow from there.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I mean, I second that. I mean, it's a whole nother conversation to talk about how we got into this predicament, and it's no accident that we do behave this way. But I 120% agree with you that the only solution is in ourselves and in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I think that if any people uprooted, disconnected from their original heritage and culture, gone through 400 years of slavery and Jim Crow and terrorism, and we still getting terrorized to the point where police just running up in our house now. Like you can't even just. It's like you can die just from relaxing watching TV on your couch now, bruh. Like anytime you are faced with that type of terrorism, it's no wonder you kind of behave the way that you behave. Not to mention the whole after slavery and Jim Crow, like after that and during that time, the whole miseducation of the Negro that we get in our schools, not knowing our own history and culture, not knowing all that. All of that's fact. I mean, we can have a show where we can debate that, but that is fact. That is a fact of history that we have struggled through all of those things, and that has impacted that. The way that we see ourselves and behave towards one another and don't value our stuff. But what is also undeniably a fact that I agree with you on, man, is that the only solutions are going to come from us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
And all we got to do is look right next door. All of y'all going to these Chinese carryouts and carryouts is selling soul food and then you walk in and you call and I'm not prejudiced because I spent 3.5 years in Japan, all right, and I can tell you I look up. I don't look up to, but I really appreciated how they respect each other on a regular, everyday level. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Crazy how I look at us and say, damn, why can't we do that for each other? I mean, the Japanese people, man, first of all, you hardly would ever see any homeless out in the street. If ever. If somebody's homeless because they wanted to be homeless, that's how they got it. They take care of their own. They really take care of their own. So I'm saying that to say that when we go into these carryouts and you calling some Asian ma, right there we already have a problem because we're not even identifying with ourselves properly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, and the great thing going back to the whole reason why I brought you here today is, it's really food deserts in our neighborhoods. And if on every corner you can find a McDonald's or a liquor store or a carry out, but you can't find somewhere to get some fresh fruits and vegetables, that's a problem.
That's a problem, man.
Because the real fast food is a banana, an apple, a pear. That's your real fast food.
Yep.
So, you going to the carry out, first of all, your body can only use what it can break down. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of the foods that we buying in these little carry outs or fast way of living nowadays, your body can't even use that. So I don't want to get too deep, but yeah, I mean, I appreciate the work that you're doing, within the community. So November the 2nd, one more time where they can come to this Chocolate City Farmers Market.
That's right, man. Chocolate City Farmers Market, man. Come, food, goods, vibes, man. Fresh fruits and veggies. November the 2nd, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The warehouse at 1360s. That's 1360 Oakey Street, right next door to City Winery over in Ivy City. Come through, man. Come support local black farmers. Get you some fresh fruits and vegetables. Get some for your people. We got some goods there, some vendors there. Come get some early holiday shopping done with some local black vendors, vendors of color. And just come for the fellowship, man, and the vibe, and at the same time support the cause of feeding 100 families in need, right in Ward 5, between Saratoga and Edgewood and Montana, all that right there. Yep.
Is it too late for anybody to, join the
No, absolutely not, man. Follow us on Instagram at Chocolate City Farmers DC. The link is in the bio to register. The event is free. It's free. Like if you go to our Eventbrite, you had an option for a free ticket, a $5 donation, $15 if you want to sponsor one family, or more if you just got the extra income you really believe and you want to donate to the cause. So, but that's all right there in one spot on our Eventbrite page. Follow us on Instagram at Chocolate City Farmers DC. And you can link with us there. If you want to be a vendor, that's on the Eventbrite. So just sign up, come through.
There it is. So we're going to get out of here on your brand new single, Kimasabi.
Yes, sir.
And this came out what 2 weeks ago?
Friday, yeah, a little bit less than 2 weeks ago. It'll be
Okay.
2 weeks on this Friday coming up. Yeah.
All right. So this is a brand new single. This joint is hot. Can you give us a little background on it?
Yeah. I mean, it's just reflection of what we've been trying to do. Like, even before the whole Don't Mute DC thing, we did. We were pushing. Like, if you just go back through our Instagram feed, we were pushing just a love of the community, a love of the go-go community. Just showing love with, through our T-shirts and pulling up some old footage on our Instagram feed. Like, it's just not all about us. It's not like you go down Instagram feed. It's not all about what Black Alley is doing. It's showing love to the city and to the culture that help even make us, that help give us a platform to do what we do. And so then when the whole Metro PCS thing happened, the gentrified ads called the police to try to sue the store to keep him from playing go-go. We immediately went out there, did a free show, did the free pop-up show. Like, Mr. Don will tell you, like, he'll tell you he got love, he got respect for us because we was the first. We didn't make it was nothing. We just did it. Because we wanted to do it like that. That hit home. Like, you're just not gonna come here and disrespect our culture in this way. You're not gonna do it. And so we did that, and all of the events leading up since then, or happening, transpiring since then. We just got together and did a song, man. The song is called Kemosabe.
All right, and I almost forgot. Let's close out on this. So tell us about Hood Rock University, because I touched on it earlier, and I really wanted to expand on it real quick.
Oh, yeah. So, like we've been talking about earlier, we call our music Hood Rock, that good mix of trap rock and go-go. And so we just wanted to kind of have a umbrella, sort of a brand, an umbrella to do all of our community events under, and so we call it Hood Rock University. And it's growing. Like, we've been able to get 4 scholarships so far. First one we did on our own. The second one where we were able to, give 3 student scholarships. We partnered with Puma and Shoe City, good people there. So it's been scholarships. We partnered with Made in the DMV to do the movie buyout when Black Panther first came out. So over 100 kids went to the movies for free. We did that. And then we've done like some creative, like more activist art type things. I co-wrote and then I wrote and then co-shot this sort of like this photo essay, formatted it for Instagram with a dope photographer from Southeast, D. Dwyer, Animal, the drummer Animal, and his daughter Treasure were the subjects. And we just talked about gentrification. First they came for the people in the projects, and I did not speak out because I ain't living in the projects. And then they came for go-go, and I ain't speak out because I ain't like go-go no way. Then they came for the students at Howard University. I didn't say nothing because I wasn't a student. Then they came for my black ass, and there was no one left to speak for me. You know what I'm saying? So just really using that art, even outside of music, as a form of activism, a form of resistance, a form of educating, community building. All of that is under that Hood Rock University umbrella. And we want to grow it even more, provide even more scholarships, do more programming, connecting, our young black college students, making them feel more connected to the neighborhoods that some of them come from. Some of them may come from the suburbs, have nice, a nicer upbringing, but they still are responsible, still connected, for making sure that everybody in the African American community has access to opportunities and resources.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So for those of you who have had any kind of negative connotations or thoughts about Black Alley, after listening to this brother right here, they all should be erased. All should be erased because they're doing positive things for the community. And no, you don't necessarily, just like any other music genre, you don't have to necessarily like them, but you got to respect them. All right?
Yes, sir.
So we're getting out of here on Kemosabe. Thank you for coming in, Cam.
No, thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
And so make sure y'all slide through November the 2nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Right.
Warehouse at 1360 Chocolate City Farmers Market.
Hey, look, let's take care of those who take care of us. I'm out of here.
I
You
could
tune in
touch
to
you
the GoWIN
haters
Radio
about a
Show.
mile away. All the talking down, I just a come back. talking go-go when you're not from round the way. Fresh up out the water, you gon' drown today. Oh, listen, you cannot just mute these seed now. Wasn't shooting in the gym with me, so watch me. Ow, I deserve a refund. We built the city, now you're taxing us like we done. These wanna fight, I give you the reason. Look, I ain't asked you for no threesome, please, son.